Well, the Eagles went inside on a cloudy, rainy-ish type day for practice. A lot to go over. Roster moves for the Philadelphia Eagles and a lot more. What needs to go right this week against the Rams? A lot to discuss here, so let's get straight into it all.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone is doing well today. So a lot to discuss for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Big NFC matchup this week. This is playoff implications. There's a lot going on, but the Eagles had practice inside, and the biggest news, now we'll go over the roster move where, Kenyon Green was signed to the active roster. Okay, now Landon Dickerson is an interesting one to me because I can't tell if he's actually healthy. I thought at the half mark, I forgot when during the game, they showed Landon Dickerson on video, and he was kind of limping a little bit. I don't know if he's healthy, guys. Like, I don't know if he's had, like, full practices every day. Is he had some type of pain tolerance with this back injury? I know the meniscus is fine, but I'm still kind of worried about him a little bit. Now, finally, back at practice for the Philadelphia Eagles, it looks like Dallas Goedert, okay, did come back to practice, full participant. So I actually thought he was going to miss more time, but he is well missed, let me tell you, because the Eagles had no targets towards tight ends last week, maybe two, one to Grants and one to Calcaterra. As much as we're giving Kevin Patullo a lot of shit, the blocking has to be better, okay? Because realistically, there's a lot of deep shots that were open downfield. I got to say, there was. From watching the All-22 this past week and watching the game a few more times, there was a lot going on. Now, I understand with Kevin Patullo, you have to give the defense different looks. If you don't, you're going to get a consistent pass rush. You're not going to give the defense anything to worry about, which the protection is going to break down when you're predictable every single drive. And Calcaterra, I'm sorry, is one of the worst blockers on this team. He's been like that the last few years. This is why Calcaterra will never be a number one tight end in the league, and the Eagles will not pay him because there's no tight ends that are on contract after the 25 season. I'm really glad Dallas Goedert is back, as much as he was a big participant in that first game against the Cowboys, and they targeted him a lot in that game. I'm hoping it's not overused too much where they distribute the ball just a little more. Of course, we're trying to get this offense to expand. Patullo says it's going to. Nick says deep throws are in motion right now. Explosive plays all in the playbook, and it's going to grow over time. From a blocking aspect with Dallas Goedert to another weapon being on the field is going to be huge for this offense. A.J. Brown should have a really big game too. I mean, Akello Weatherspoon with a broken clavicle is out for the Rams, starting cornerback out, and Emmanuel Forbes comes right in. I'm not really worried about that matchup too much, but if they start doubling that side because there's a weak point there against A.J. Brown, somebody else could be making big plays. So the Eagles offense should do really well as long as the protection is there. Now, did the Eagles win the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade? This one is interesting because I think it all depends on if Mckee stays healthy this year, where he was hurt twice in this offseason program. And I'm really glad that he made some plays in that second game against KC. I'm so glad. Like, that was his best game so far. Fangio did mention that Mckee did miss some plays and, just got to play a little bit more consistent. But obviously something to build on after this KC game going into the Rams game. As much as I'm rooting for Mckee, I'm hoping we're not going to be paying the price for that CB2 spot. That's all I'm really saying. Maybe the Eagles will wake up. Maybe they will trade for a corner due in time when teams are playing bad. The Eagles start lurking around teams that, are not in playoff contention, and they might go trade for somebody that has a couple years left on their deal that could play opposite of Quinyon Mitchell, and that could be a huge possibility down the road. Obviously, until then, it seems like Fangio is rooting for Adoree Jackson to really get better in this defense. And I gotta say, I'm a very realistic guy, and I don't play sides at all, but it's not like he gave you nothing in that game, okay? So you win some, you lose some. That's what we're going to have to expect from Andrew Mckee, and unfortunately, we're going to have to really rely on this pass rush. So I think from safety to CB2 spot, I think it's a mirrored circle because of the moves you made in this past offseason. So we'll see what happens. Looking for the ultimate way to test your sports knowledge? ProfitX puts you in the action with peer-to-peer sports prediction market. Play against your friends and fellow fans, not the house. With the best lines in the space and available in over 40 states, ProphetX makes predicting games more exciting than ever. We're going to get into the Miami Dolphins and Buffalo Bills on Thursday night and looking at Tyreek Hill's receiving yards for the under or over for 62.5 yards. I will probably take the under on this. As much as Tyreek Hill's a good player, the passing game has been a complete mess. The roster has been a complete mess for Miami. I think they're going to struggle with the pressure on Tua in this game on Thursday, and that's pretty much where I'm at. Do you agree? Let me know. Use my promo code SHAKE72 and you get up to $200 cash back over your first 30 days. Every play you make, ProphetX gives you money back for playing on their platform, up to $200. Don't just watch the game, dominate it with ProphetX today. Where is the respect for Jordan Davis, okay? He is leading the league at his position with 11 tackles. 11 tackles and 3 pass deflections, okay, which is kind of crazy right now. You know, you're just waiting for Jalen Carter to get under his feet a little bit because he's a little bit behind. You know, he had the shoulder injury in the offseason. You know, he missed that first game. He didn't play all preseason games. He didn't play at all, I don't think. So, you know, he's got to catch up a little bit. Joshua Uche has been one of the top graded edge rushers the last couple weeks, between being the number 1 guy week 1 and being the number 2 edge rusher in week 2, which is absolutely amazing. For a guy that only had 4 practices last week with the Philadelphia Eagles on short timing, literally off the couch, Zadarius Smith was an immediate impact, and he's got a lot of juice left. And I thought that Nolan Smith kind of set the edge a little bit the other day against KC. I thought he did a really good job kind of keeping his body there, playing with his toughness, and, you know, making sure that nothing gets by him. From a pass rush standpoint, Nolan Smith needs to play better. I think we all know this. And Jalyx Hunt, I think he's been pretty close the last couple weeks with a couple sacks. Like, he's almost there. He's made a couple tackles against the run, so he's progressing nicely. We've got to remember, guys, this is week 2. You know, we can't expect too much from everybody. There's only so many guys that can make so many plays in a short span in a couple weeks. But the defense is in a work in progress. They're going to gel together. The next few weeks is really going to matter. You know, I don't know who's going to gel first, the offense or the defense. The defense might be a little bit ahead, and that's just my opinion on it. It really makes me more excited what's to come in the coming weeks of how good can this defense be. And I'm going to say this, the importance of Cooper DeJean, I don't care how bad CB2 is this year. The importance of Cooper DeJean, you've got to keep him at that inside spot. That open tackle he had on Kareem Hunt was absolutely just brilliantly beautiful. No hesitation. He is the middle field general, okay? See things before they happen, the open field tackling. He's not there. He's taken out of a play on an off tackle run or something like that. There's going to be a lot of yards middle of the field by a running back, and he will stop that from happening. Middle of the field, he'll stop everything from happening. So you really got to keep him there. I have no choice. Looks like Tanner McKee is back, fully throwing with his right hand, ready to go as the backup quarterback probably this week. So very nice to have Tanner McKee ready to be back. Now, the final thing, it looks like the Eagles could be wearing white on whites this week. I don't know why. The Eagles defense was wearing midnight greens at practice the other day. So look out for those white on whites for Sunday at 1 p.m. at home versus the LA Rams. So just want to put that out there. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. What do you guys think about the Eagles offense not being predictable this week? A lot going on for this Eagles offense. Playoff implications, big NFC matchup on Sunday at home, LA Rams. How do you feel about the pass rush? How do you feel about CB2? All of the works. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. Make sure you hit the like button because it helps out tremendously. Go check out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch. Super Bowl rings. New batch of rings is in. Pre-orders until October 1st, so you can get them shipped on October 11th. Check out all the Jalen Hurts merch as well. It's looking pretty fire out there with some more stuff in the making. You guys enjoy. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, follows, peace out, guys. Bye.